Hello, I'm Dr. Josh, and I'm not a doctor. Now the patient's on the slab and my scalpel's getting lonely. Let's operate, shall we?
Rub those chest paddles together because I'm charging up a few thousand volts of controversial opinions. 3, 2, 1. I think the film industry has a lot to learn from the video game industry. Of course, I'm not referring to the game industry's generally half-baked stories, asinine character tropes, and desperate attempts to be taken seriously in general. I'm talking about their concepts of remastering, remaking, and to a lesser extent, porting. Now, in terms of games, a good remaster is essentially a graphics update from the original, while potentially updating the controls, audio, cutscenes, etc., but not changing it so much that it's an entirely new experience. A successful remaster like DuckTales, for example, will provide a familiar experience with a refined modern sheen to it. A remake is when a game is substantially changed, to the point where it's almost an entirely new experience, yet still has enough tonal or creative connections to the original to justify the same title. A port is when a game is unchanged in terms of graphics and gameplay. It's just able to be played on a different game system than originally envisioned. The filmic equivalent would be a movie existing in various formats and on different streaming services. Nothing super interesting or helpful there, so we're going to focus on the remaster and remake end of things. How did these concepts change anything in the film industry? Well, first and foremost, the term remake is so aggressive. It feels like someone's painting on a canvas that already had a painting on it. And regardless of reality, it bears the implication of something valuable being lost in the process. The term remaster, to me anyway, brings all the weight and severity of a new coat of paint on a blank wall. For example, I would love to see a remaster of the original Toy Story. Keep literally everything the same, dialogue, shot composition, everything, just up the visual ante to Toy Story 3 and 4 levels. Now, a remake should be purpose-driven. A filmmaker should have something new to offer the original narrative. Great examples of this include the remakes of Child's Play, The Thing, and It. All these movies are very different from the originals, and because of this difference, they allow the originals to retain their uniqueness while still offering something new to audiences. Okay, real talk. Where does this leave garbage like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, or The Lion King? There's not enough narrative change in either to count as a remake by our new metrics, so perhaps they're trying to be remasters? The biggest issue with this is that a remaster is supposed to be an improvement, and since traditional animation doesn't really age when it's done well, they're really struggling with the live-action attempts. The traditional animation in the original movies is near masterpiece level, and the visuals in the recent versions are so muted and lifeless in comparison. It's also not going to age as well as the traditional films they're based on. For example, the CG used to depict the Beast in the new Beauty and the Beast movie already looks dated. Any minor additions or subtractions to the narrative only open up plot holes in what was once a nearly bulletproof story. In terms of The Lion King, they swapped out the original voice cast, for reasons, and remade the movie almost shot for shot, but in a muted, realistic, unemotional documentary style. This would be a bold and interesting choice for a movie that didn't deal with characters undergoing extremely traumatic or moving character changes that the audience is supposed to relate to on some level. So the remastering in both these cases ended up working directly against the source material. I would classify a number of these recent Disney disasters as being failed remasters, just like bad remasters of video games. The Silent Hill HD collection, I'm looking at you. The Disney remasters are an offense, yes, but a lucrative one. All the Mouse House cares about is raking in that cold, nostalgic cash? Well, before you turn me into the Disney police, at least hear me out. You can still rake in all the money and still exploit nostalgia without strip mining generations of goodwill by delivering a mediocre subpar final product. How, you ask? Good question. Remake films in ways that change the story or characters substantially. Disney's remake of Pete's Dragon, Freaky Friday, and Maleficent, as a remake or recontextualization of Sleeping Beauty, are great examples of what they should be doing. So, hey Disney, you bought Blue Sky. What exactly are you doing with it? Want to win back the hearts of jaded animation fans? Turn it into a low-budget traditional feature animation studio and release a weird, super stylized movie every 2 to 4 years or so. Think of it as a low-stakes investment in your future, because it would be hard to make the case that you're selling out your legacy when you're still making traditional-style animation or experimental movies. You would reclaim a growing group of grumbling old-school Disney fans who would in turn plant the seed of Disney consumerism within their future children, and so on. If you abide by our rule of remakes, in that you must bring something substantially new to the table, show the X-fans that you respect your roots, and carefully choose to remaster only the movies that would actually benefit from a fresh coat of paint, like Toy Story or A Bug's Life, then I think you'd be on the right path. Let's be realistic though, Disney doesn't care what I think. I can't even get people related to me to watch my videos, so what does any of this matter in the long run? Well, look at the time. I have an appointment with anxiety and existential dread. Diagnosis?
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't, don't. If you want to see some of the episodes we've made in the past, check out the playlist tab on our YouTube channel page.
It's also all organized on our website.
On that website, use the contact form to sign up for our free electronic monthly magazine.
It's packed with behind-the-scenes breakdowns, channel data, polls, and even discounts on our boutique.